642, welcome back. Accused murderer Daniel Callihan sits in a Plaquemines Parish jail this morning, awaiting the next steps in the case of a brutal killing of a mother and daughter from Loranger. Right now, Callihan faces state charges in Louisiana, where the investigation first began, also in Mississippi, where Callihan was captured. The feds are also filing charges in this case. As for Callahan's alleged accomplice, Victoria Cox, she too was arrested. She faces charges as well. Here with some insight this morning is Harry Rosenberg, a former federal prosecutor. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Brandon.
So as we mentioned, Callihan is now back in Louisiana, Plaquemines Parish, because they do hold federal inmates. What are we waiting right now for from the feds? We do know that he faces charges, but we don't know much about the allegations against him.
Exactly right. I mean, there's still some question marks over this investigation. The federal investigation documents have been put under seal for the moment, and so we don't know what charges are going to be brought by the federal prosecutors against Callihan and perhaps Cox. He is sitting in a federal jail as part of the Plaquemines jail as opposed to a state jail. So that suggests that there may be federal charges in Louisiana as well as federal charges in Mississippi. But we do know that the federal government is actively investigating Callihan for at least capital murder, kidnapping, and likely other charges such as the Mann Act, federal crimes that bringing young women across state lines.
Right, because the police chief in Jackson said that considering the area where the girls were found, it indicated to him that the area could have been used as some type of human trafficking operation. Do you think that's something the feds are looking into?
Oh, absolutely. I think that is sort of the bread and butter of the FBI, and they look at those types of potential charges of human trafficking, particularly with young women, and I think that's exactly what we're seeing now. That's what the sheriff in Jackson indicated, and I think that's what we could expect to see here as well as in Mississippi.
We talk about charges in Mississippi, charges in Louisiana, also at the federal level. How complicated of a case is this?
Well, it is complicated because you have two jurisdictions, the two states almost competing.
Right.
We know that the district attorney here got a sort of a jump start on the charges, and we also know now that Mississippi has said we will defer to Louisiana and then bring the charges after Louisiana's finished.
What's the significance of that, Mississippi deferring to Louisiana? Is that because it's believed everything started here?
Well, certainly it's hard to know why Mississippi deferred. There's still a question mark on the actual indictment against Callihan because he's charged with 2 murders. And the information we've gotten from folks like you, Brandon, are the fact that the young girl was actually murdered in Mississippi rather than in Louisiana. And so we're going to have to wait and see what type of evidence the district attorney has here in Louisiana regarding the second murder charge.
There's also a big question mark surrounding Victoria Cox and what exactly she is accused of doing here.
Exactly right. I mean, Victoria Cox coincidentally lived down the street from the woman who was killed here in Louisiana. And there's also another question as to whether she will try to reach a plea agreement with the government and become a key witness against Callihan, who at times says, go ahead and give me the death penalty, and then at other times he says, I'm bipolar.
And so with that being said, if you were representing Callihan, what would be your strategy right now?
I think you have to look at an insanity plea. I mean, we don't know what the scope of his confession is to the Mississippi authorities, but clearly he's got, at least from what we've seen so far, Brandon, mental issues that might be a defense to at least avoid a murder charge where it results in actual prosecution of a capital case.
All right, and real quick, because we are out of time. Are things moving quickly here, moving slowly? How can you gauge that?
You know, I think they're moving pretty quickly given the jump start that the district attorney here got, and it's still going to be I think, weeks or months before we see any type of conclusion to where where the dust is going to settle.
All right, Mr. Rosenberg, thank you, sir, for that. We appreciate your insight.
My pleasure.
And as we've told you, that there will be a candlelight vigil tomorrow for Aaron and Callie Burnett. It is actually tonight at 7:30. It's going to be at Loranger High School.